so I don't forget. Perfect. I'm gonna have to minimize the chat so I can focus on just sharing. Sorry, my throat. Always happens every time I'm like having to speak or do something new, something different. So totally normal. Perfect. So excited to have you here. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get started, okay? Because most of the people are going to watch the replay, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. So I'm gonna introduce myself. I'm Rubina Ianigro, and I am the founder of the R Market. I'm a 2-4 splenic manifester. So whatever your understanding of a 2-line is, a 4-line, and a manifester. So here to create new things, initiate new things, and initiate people into new concepts, perspectives. I like to think new way of seeing, doing, being, and leading. So of course you get that from the R Market, and then you also see that I have very inconsistent releases. So it depends on my creative urge and my energy levels and the support that I have around me to see projects to the end. All right, so that's about me. The R Market, I created that without a real thing in plan. Like I don't really plan. I just kind of, when things come to me, I just follow it. So I always go whatever the next step is and I follow that. So when I first started the R Market, it was to introduce physical products into the human design community, just to be able to offer something new, something different for people. And over time, it's evolved, obviously. So I've been focusing on digital products and digital offers and tools for people to just really have fun and get creative with human design, so that you're not seeing the same thing out there. I want people to be able to stand out and share their creativity, to access their creativity, and to share the way they see human design. And so I created the Canva templates. I think I was one of the first. I hadn't seen it out there. I was waiting for someone else to do it, and then got the urge, and I introduced the first bundle last year. I think it was in March. And then last month, I introduced the second bundles. I'm not sure what's next. This is just how I work. And I do have a couple of other things on my website, so I'll share. I'm gonna hide that. So, okay, so you could see I keep it really simple. For now, I only have digital bundles on here. I just want to be able to share what exists. So very simple. These are the only offers I have right now. I always pivot when I feel called to, and I'm probably going to do it again. I just don't know when. So I have the first bundle here, and then the second bundle here. Then I also offer it for people who want to buy both. Hi. And then I have this one, which is 5 bundles together. So it has the glyphs, the notepads, both Canva bundles, and then the vector version of the customizable body graph, which is this one right here. And then you have the option to get the personal license or the commercial. With the commercial license, you're able to promote your services and create new products. And that's really the main difference. And then I have the notepad bundle. So I had the physical notepads, which were really, really popular, but very expensive to ship because they were so heavy. So being able to offer the digital version was really my way of being able to still get you what you needed, and then you have the option to get it printed locally. So these are my simple offers, simple but impactful. So the purpose of this training, so I want to be able to set an intention that whoever is here or whoever will watch the workshop, whatever I want to call this, is that you're going to learn something new from this, a new way of either approaching creativity, approaching the system, how to share your genius with the world. This is not something I normally offer because I'm the type of person that just wants to be left alone to do what I do and not have to explain it. And so I'm going to pretend you're all my best friends and I'm just going to go in and show you how my mind works and how I put together. And sometimes I don't even know how my mind works. I know it's a two-line thing. And so these things come naturally to me. I don't know how to explain it, but I want to be able to just show you what I do when I use Canva, what Canva is, what are some of the capabilities in there, and some of the new products that I'm working on and products that you can create from the bundles itself. So a lot of you that registered do not have the bundle. So I'm really excited to show you what's included in the bundles behind the scenes and kind of my intention when I created this. One of the things, I'm not sure if you noticed this, but I get feedback from this a lot. So I have another business and then this one's kind of like my side business, like something I'm just really passionate. Um, I consider myself a creative and a creator. So all I like to do is just self-express or express that creativity in doing things that don't fit a specific niche. So I just like to do what I do. And I'm going to show you how you can do batch work, how you can edit things in here, what are the different elements within Canva that I think are really cool that you can use. Some of it does require you to kind of put in some work, but it does pay off. And I'm going to go off on tangents because I don't have a defined head or ajna. And I do have notes. So sometimes you'll see me referencing my notes. So I stay, kind of on track of what I intended this to be, which is I just want you to be able to see what's possible, what's different, and a different way of kind of approaching the work, whether it's sharing your offers, your genius, even within like add-ons with your services. The human design community is growing. So I just want people to be able to do things really creatively, because that is just kind of what I offer as a two-line. When you have a conscious two-line, it's really about aesthetics, image, passion, creativity. And so I just want to be able to share that in how I approach it. So take a deep breath, just set the intention that you're here to learn something new, or just kind of even just to watch me in my zone of genius, that you'll benefit from it. One thing I do want to say is that I only create things I understand. So a lot of people do come to me and ask me to create different things like the rave mandala and a couple of other stuff like transit things. And I'm still learning human design. I'm not an expert in Canva. I'm not an expert in human design. Like I'm still learning, I'm still experimenting, and I'm still deconditioning. So I try to stay in integrity with what I know, and I'm not here to just make a quick buck. I do love to get paid for sharing like my offers and my work, but I'm not going to create something that I don't understand yet or I'm not into yet, because my focus is my asset. Like whatever I focus on, I really need to be passionate about it. So it's not that I don't want to create things for you. I just really, that's my process, that I really have to understand it, and I need to want to focus on it. Okay. So when you buy my bundles, my Canva bundles, you'll get 2 PDFs. So this is the first one, the first bundle, and you'll see that they're all separated by the different types. So like body graphs, centers, gates, channels, and then a couple of different options. So I did 2 color options, some neutral colors, and then I love black. So I kind of did this for myself and then just offered it to you as well. And so this was the original bundle that I did last year. And the purpose for this one was when I had started studying human design, I got into like this, the student brain of like wanting to just, I love to learn visually, audio, video, like I want it all, taste, cognition. So being able, I didn't see any graphics out there, something pretty for me to be able to take notes. And so this was the purpose of that coming through. Once I figured out how to do it, I was able to put it together. And so it had its limitations in that I couldn't get the body graph to be customizable. And then a couple months later, I figured it out on how to do it the vector version, which a lot of people don't really want to learn how to use Illustrator or Affinity Designer. And so I let that sit with me for a while before it came to me on how to do that. So then the second bundle I created, which was launched last month. So now you can do chart templates, custom body graphs, body graph poster size. Yes, it's a lot of work, but I still wanted to be able to offer that. And then I included Gene Keys. I've been studying Gene Keys as long as Human Design. It's a sister system to Human Design, just kind of a different approach to the gates. And I love it. So I just wanted to be able to offer that for some people in my community that use both, or eventually people who want to be able to use Gene Keys or use both systems. So I'm going to show you, this is Canva. So I have the Pro version. I've always had it. Some of the things in here are like the brand kit, like being able to upload your logos, your custom fonts. So you'll see I have 3 different brands. So it makes sense for me to have a Pro version, which is $12 a month, or I think it's $120 a year, something like that. It's really like, for me, it's a no-brainer. So I have everything here that I need, which are like the fonts, the color palette, so I don't have to keep selecting colors. Like I kind of know what colors I need to use. So the R market, I kind of stick to these colors, and of course it makes sense for me. Recent projects, so I always put down like kind of the fonts that I need to use for any current projects, but I've uploaded, I'm like, I don't know if you know Creative Market, like I'm obsessed. I like try not to go into that website, because then I start buying like all the fonts. So you could see here, these are just like the top fonts that I like using for all my different brands. So this is the only possible if you have the Pro version. Just makes life easier if you're going to do a lot of content creation. So when you go into Canva, let's go. Okay, I had to lower the chat box so I could see what I'm doing. I'm going to lower my face as well. Okay, I don't know what's, so you can create, when you go into your projects, you'll see that, you'll have a list of all your designs, images that you've uploaded. These are all the GIFs when I was like playing around with GIFs. But I've created folders to make my life easier. And so these 2 folders, I have the Canva templates that I offer for sale, so I know not to edit them. Because if I edit them and someone buys them, they're gonna see the edits in there. So I want to be able to share, save those separately so that I don't touch them. So every time I create templates like these for sale, I always make a copy for myself and then rename it. So this is the folder. So this is the first bundle, and you'll see the centers are here, the light version and then the dark version, the channels. So I'll open it up so you could see. Got to learn how to be patient when it takes so long to load. Okay, so so when you get the first bundle and you load this in, so this is what you'll see. You'll see just, it's very simple. I just wanted to keep it very simple for you, and you'll see colors here, so you can change the color of the center and then the gates. And then I have placeholders for you to be able to make any changes that you want. So it'll have all the 9 centers here. Okay, so that was the purpose of like the first bundle, because I hadn't seen anything like this out there and I wanted to be able to introduce it. There are stuff out there now, but I just stay in my lane because I know that this is just the way I want to see it. You'll see that the darker version has a little bit more details. And this is just something that I wanted for myself. So when you buy these bundles, you can use it as they are with the same fonts. I think I should mostly try to keep everything to free elements, so like free fonts, so that you didn't have to go around changing, but you can change it for yourself if you need to. And all you have to do is either remove this, you click on it, hit delete quickly, or you can just change it to your own username, and then just use it the way it is. So that's one option. Or I'm going to go into how you can edit a lot of different things within the bundles, but I just wanted to be able to show you the value in having it prepared and neutral colors, so it can kind of match with a lot of different people, you know, whatever colors you use for your brand. All right, so that's the first bundle. And then I have the second bundle here. So you'll see like the chart templates here. This is just for me. I have the listing graphics, the gene keys, and then the HD report I did, and my license and my custom. So those are the two bundles. I'm going to close these tabs and I'm going to show you. Okay, so this is from the first bundle. I'm going to show you something in a bit. So one of the things I did was, if you go to, hold on. So I'm going to open up my copies so I can edit my copies and not edit the originals. These are all my R Market stuff. So I have it right here. I'll rename it to like editable, or this is the gate. So I know that this is the one that I can edit and it won't impact the bundles that people purchase. So what I had done, I didn't do it with this, I did it with the gates. So if you have the Pro version, you can only do this in Pro. You hit resize, and I have it right here. You can select this and create a copy of this. And so this is one of the features that I love in Canva, is that you can create like the Instagram story version, you can create the Pinterest version, you can create presentation slides, whatever you want. You could search it, you could actually put in the size yourself, or you can search what type you want. And so this allows you to take what's there and then repurpose it for a different platform. So many different options. You can even turn this into a document, and then I'll kind of show you how I create certain ebooks. But yeah, look at that. Like you can do so many different things. So I did this with the Pinterest pin because I realized this is going to be one of the bonuses I add on later whenever I do get to finish it. But that's what I did. Is it this one? Yeah. So when I resized it, it looks like this, right? So all it does is like take whatever's there, the same size, and then just add like more space so you can do. So I'm going to be reformatting all of this so you can, so I'm going to show you a quick hack. So I'm going to copy and paste all this. Nope, not that. I'll do this. It depends on the spacing, because you'll see when you try to highlight things that it's going to select like all of that, probably not this. So it'll depend on where the spacing is. But if I did that, so I would do that for every single one. So I'm showing you how I would work on this. For some people, this is really tedious. So if you have a VA or graphic designer that does that stuff, this stuff brings me joy because I get into kind of like a flow, my zone of genius. But one of my friends said that she didn't end up using my templates because she, like it wasn't formatted for Pinterest. And then I showed her that she could do this. And then she just like, she hadn't even realized she could do this. And just, yeah, so you don't have to make it that hard for yourself. You can just easily copy and paste. So all I did was hit Control C for copy and then Control V to paste it. And that's amazing with Canva, is that when you go from one post to the other, it'll paste it in the exact same space. And so what I'll probably do is first, like I like to do batch work. So I'll do one task. So I'll focus on just like moving all this down the way I did here. And yep. Yeah, so the way I did here, I brought it down so that I could have more space up here. And so I would probably do that for all 64 first, and then copy and paste like the stuff up here, or I'll just do it a different way. So those are ways that you can take something from the original, which was this, and then resize it to Pinterest or whatever platform that you're going to be on. So that's one of those things. Okay, I had like so many notes that I wanted to go through. that I have the 2057, so I kind of just jump around. Um, let's see. So I might come back to a certain thing. So I'm going to go back to, so like, let's go back to, I actually like the gates more. So we're going to work with gates. That's one of the things, like, I have so much shit in here that sometimes I can't find what I need. Actually, yeah, let's work with this one. So this is in the second bundle. So the purpose that I had for this one was, the intention was for people to be able to share that, you know, that they know human design, they guide people in human design, or they teach human design. And so based on my experience and what I've learned from the human design industry is like kind of like, this is how you share, like at least the order of things. You can obviously share in any order that works for you, but I did want to make it easier for new people, like students in training or people who just found human design or have been experimenting it and then kind of want to introduce it to their audiences. You start introducing like the history and the system and how to pull your chart so that your audience can kind of follow you. And so that was the purpose of this. So you can go in and edit a lot of things in here. You can change the background. So we're going to get into a little bit of like Canva elements. So like when you click on this, you'll see this thing here. So you could change it to a solid color, or you can go over here to photos. I don't know why I said it like that. So you can look up plain backgrounds. You could even just put in something like blue and you'll get like all kinds of different backgrounds that you can. So if you want like do something more mystical, something more creative, that's up to you. You could even type in things like aesthetic and you'll get, you know, something like that if you want to do that. So people, and here's another cool thing to do, is you can change the opacity, so transparency, so you can make it even lighter so that people can focus on that. This is a nice one too. So it just makes it pop more. It makes it, if that's something that's on brand for you, where you use images to kind of evoke certain emotions, you can do that. And then you can just change the opacity to make it a lot lighter so it doesn't steal the focus. So that's one option. So we're just going to play around with a couple of different things we can do here. So you can bring in different photos. You can upload your own if you have your own library. They have really fun stuff like this too, shadows. Like that's really cool as well. But I really liked this one. This one was really cool. My style is always changing. So, and then here's another thing you can do is if you double click the photo, you can move it around. So whatever feels, and you can actually expand it too to make it bigger so you can focus on a certain aspect of it. And then let's make that a little lighter. So you could see here that the text is not as legible. You can't read it as much. So over here, you can change the font. Like that's, you'll see that you can see the brand kit here. So like all my uploaded fonts, which are not loading. Okay, now you can see it. So yeah, you can change the font, the size, the color of the font. It'll show you with this font, you can make it bold, italics, underline, caps lock, spacing, bullet points if you need to, spacing. So this is really great if you want to kind of change the spacing, make it more like give it more space between text. This is up to you, kind of play around with this. And this is how I learned. So I'm not an expert. I still consider myself a beginner, but I kind of just stay to what I've learned and what I like, and I'm always learning new things. So one of the things I love to use is effects. This one's a really great one to kind of give it a shadow effect so that the text pops. And there's I like to use this one as well. That's really great for headers. And so if you want to use like, if you don't have a font that has an outline, this helps you create an outline, and then you can select the color that you want in it. You can do neon. Doesn't work for this one. You have to change the color to do it, but let's use this one. Animate is great if you're going to be doing like stories. And then what it does is when you post it, like you're supposed to download it as an MP4 file. So when you go down to just download button. Okay. Oh, yeah, so there's the download button. Okay, there we go. So you would download this as an MP4 video, and that's where you'll see the animate effects. So like kind of like the words just coming in. So this is for people who don't want to create their own videos, but like have a video of elements just kind of coming in together. I'm not going to animate it now because I don't know how to undo it. So yeah, that's just one of the options you can do. You could even turn into a GIF. This is not something that I would turn into a GIF, but we'll get into the download options. But I just want to be able to show you. So you have to select this to be able to see it. Position is a really great thing that I work with. This is one of the things that I definitely have to. Okay, so this is not this one. All right, position will be really great for this to show you. So let's say like this is like all over the place, and I pay attention to spacing. So this is something that like bugs me. So I will highlight all the things that I want spaced out. So I'll go to position, and first I'll do space evenly vertically. I can do tidy up, but I like to do one thing at a time. So vertically, it'll create all the spacing evenly between all of them, and then left so that they're all aligned to the left. And then I can just move this around, and you'll see that it starts to show you these little pink lines. And so it's helping you. It has these elements that help you to see if you can align it. So I like to align it with the header up there, the title, and then center it to where this thing is right here. So that's one of the great things about spacing. Another thing you can do is, if you want to keep it like this, you know you love it, you can group it. So then, yeah, it makes it easy so that you don't lose it. And so that's really great. So this is kind of how I've just been building things. Another thing that I do is, remember I had said that, so when I created this, I put this here and then I hit copy, and then for every other one I created, so I duplicated this and then just edited all the text here. And so that makes it easier for, you know, if I were to just duplicate this and then just change the text, makes it easier to create more content. This is really great for carousel posts because having carousel posts is one of the top ways to get people to engage with your content. So that was one of the intentions for when I created this bundle. And you could undo it. So if you deleted something you didn't want to delete. And yeah, I have, that is a duplicate. So you can undo it over here, this little arrow. So no mistakes are permanent. Once you exit, obviously exit, then you can't undo it, but you can keep undoing it here. There are so many things here that you can do with this. So you can show rulers, margins, print bleed. If you're going to be sending it to print, move it to whatever folder. You can add comments. So if you're working with a team, a VA, say you go in here and add a comment here so that they can see what they need to do. This makes it really great for when you're working with teams and there are different people helping you with content. And then you can just go here and resolve comments, or you can see version histories here. You can make a copy, you could download things. Oh, I didn't even know they had a desktop version. So this is new to me. Okay. So one of the other things I brought in here was this thing. This makes it easier to add, kind of like take your graphic to the next level. A lot of options here because it's a full-size iPad mock-up. So mock-ups, you can go to elements. So if you type iPad, you'll get different iPad mockups. So we want, let's see, I think it is here. Yeah. So and this is available only in Pro version. So you could see here, these little crowns, that means it's Pro. So you have to have a paid plan for it. So for this, you could see, hold on. I don't even remember where I got it from because I just play around with things. Photos. You could do photo mockups and then you could just bring an image and place it over it. But I do believe yeah. So here's another hack. So let's say you don't want to like bring in a you know like an element and try to figure out which one you need. You can go to templates, right? And you could type in what you need. You could iPad mockup, laptop mockup, iPhone mockup. So like depending on what you want to show. So having visuals will help your audience to connect with your, like it'll stand out more versus just text. So I could have shared this just as text, but you have the option to, so what I would do is just create a new, this is how I work. Other people can do different things, but this is what I do. So I would just like go to, it's already done, right? So it's done here. So I just take this, I just copy it and then I bring it here and then I just like play around with it. So you can put into a new one, play around with it, and then you can create your thing around it. So like bring in different elements. So if I wanted to bring that there, bring it here. So I paste in the same place. Then I go to the background. I'll change my background to something that works for my brand. And then, so just move this around. And you can see this one has like the shadow behind it too. So it's pretty cool. So you can do that here. You can change the colors up here if you want. And then, so to change the image, I believe it should be, you just go to photos. Yep, no, don't hit that. You have to drag it in there. See, it went in there. Yep, yep. So that's one of my hacks, is being able to just take a template that someone's already used and just taking one aspect of it. You don't have to use the entire, like this one, if you like it spaced out like that with the iPhone and the laptop here, I'm gonna bring that in for you. Oh, let me undo that because it moved it. There's a lot going on. This is like how fast my brain works. So let's say you like this, like this one has just that, the iPhone version, and then the iPad. Like if you want to be able to show people those, you can just delete all of this other stuff. The background, you can keep it if you want. Everything, like I deleted all that. And so what I would do is just like keep these two and then create, I could remove this one. So yeah, you can create different things and then just kind of change things around. So over this one, I have a different effect up here. So I have this one, the shadow one. You can change it to whatever you need. Change around colors. Make it darker if you want. Up to you. So another thing you could do is, so let's say you have a client's chart that you want to like bring in. These are my media. It's loading, sorry. Yeah, so some of the images. So let's say if you want to bring in your own custom image for like a chart. Sorry, this is like for my other brands, so I have a lot of other stuff in here. I'll just bring this in. So like if you want to show off something that you have, that you've created, you can download it as an image and then upload it here as the file and then just bring that in. And you can also, you know, turn it however you need to, wherever you want to place it. So this helps to kind of elevate the graphic. So it's not just you having text here. So like if I see this, then it kind of like attracts me more. I'm just gonna check the chat. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah, the positioning, the positioning was like such a thing for me that yes, carousel is when on Instagram, you'll see a little box, and when you go to their post, you can like swipe the post, right? And so the Instagrams allows you to post up to 10 posts within one like upload. And so the purpose of that is to get someone, so Instagram counts that as engagement. So the more posts you have, and you don't want to just post anything because eventually people are going to figure out what you're doing. So you want to be able to provide valuable content. So it's a great way to take content and break it up into mini bite-sized posts. And then instead of just having text, it would be really great to have these elements, these mock-ups in there so that you can keep the person engaged, because you want them to be able to benefit from the post. And there are visual learners, there are like Audible, like if you want to do audio posts, that works as well. And then people who just like to read, like I like to read, but I also like to have visuals too. So you're kind of like, when you create content like this, you're appealing to the different kind of learners out there. And with human design being a science of differentiation, like everyone is, has very specific learning styles. So you can play around with this. So let's see. Okay, cool. No other questions right now. So yeah, those are some of the hacks I use, is that being able to bring in mockups, being able to, take elements from different templates that I like. So even when I used for my own template, like this was a mock-up that I quote unquote stole from one of these templates because I didn't want to figure out how to do it. So you can see over here, there's so many different options and layouts, and they're all using the same mock-up, but the background is different, the text is different. And so if you just simply click on this, I'll go to a different post. Wherever you are, it's going to show you those. So like, you can just bring it in here. This one's really cool too, because it's behind. Yeah, this one looks really cool. So just wanted to say that you can use different parts from different templates and then bring them together to make sense for your style, your brand. And that's kind of what I do, is just take from different elements and then create, like make it my own. So when you use my templates, it doesn't have to be exactly like this. So if you wanted to level this up, so we're going to go to templates, and let's say we want to look up Instagram posts. So I'll show you all the different kinds of Instagram posts that you can use. Let's look up carousel. Okay. So one ask question, can you show how to edit the channels on the body graph? Okay, cool. Yeah, I can show you that. Let's go to, it's just how I am. I go from one thing to other. I'm like a Gemini, it's a Gemini thing, undefined head thing, undefined ajna, like just go from one thing to other. This is why I have a pin called you have too many tabs open. So I created this really, thank you. Okay. So the best one tip, of course, is you don't want to edit this the way you see it, this size, because it's going to be so hard to zoom in on things. So you want to be able to go down here and really zoom in on each aspect. That is going to prevent you from having moments of like breakdown moments. So the way that I designed this, and it took me months to do this, guys. So you would have to obviously select each center, each number, each circle, and like work through this. You wanted it, I gave it to you. So this is the only way that for it to be fully customizable. So you can change that. That's really easy. It's the outline and then the color of the center, and then you work through all the numbers. The channel is you just select this. The order was not in my control and how to, so it's kind of something that you have to play around with. And the reason that I had to separate it into 4 parts plus the outline is if you want the outline, in case, let's say you had a white background. And so being able to add the outline was the intention for that. If you want to make this one full channel, obviously then you just go in and select the color that you want it to be. So I'm going to do red so you can see it. So I just go select each part and just change it to red. So it's not a fully red channel. Where it gets a little like tedious is having to change each aspect. So if I only wanted to make this one gate and not the channel, then I would have to figure out which part is the channel. So the first one coordinates with this one up here, but it's not always true for all of them. So let's make that one white. So that one is not it. We're going to make that red. Yep, there you go. So now it's just a half gate. And so you would do this with each of the channels. There are 36 channels. So if you have someone on your team that can do this, that's great. Like I had people supporting me to kind of help me create the custom body graphs because I didn't want to do it, but because I'm very detail oriented, I wanted to create the first version, like the full version. So that's how you change the channels. So I'm gonna make that back to what it was. And then thank God this is the editable version, so I can edit this and it's not messing with the original. Right, so hopefully you can. And then, yeah, so I mean, it is a little bit of work, but I've seen people, yep, that wasn't it. Nope. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it, guys. So as you can see, this requires some patience, but that's how you work through each of the channels. So there is one that's a bit of a pickle because, so when you see here, you select this, the blue line around shows how wide that element is. So then you could see right here, selecting the G and then the ego, it's a little challenging and I didn't know how to fix that. So you would go to position to back, right? So it's in the back for now. And then you can go and select the channel. So you could select this and then edit it. And then what you would do is just come back to the center and position it to the front. So this section right here, position, is like, no, we didn't want to bring it all the way to the front. So we're just going to bring it forward 3 times so that a couple of times, there you go, like 4 or 5 times, because what it did was it put it in front of this channel, and then this channel. And so, yeah, but you can bring it to front, of course, if you didn't want these. That's the easiest way to work through this one, to be able to change this channel here. But position is one of my favorites because you can bring things forward and back so that you can edit certain aspects of the post. And then align them if you need to. Over here, align is not going to work because these are in specific spaces. So, right, so that's this customizable. There are like so many things you can do with this. And I just didn't have, like, I'm not here to really teach people how to do things. But it wanted people to have the option to be able to create new things. So we're going to go through some of the things that I'm working on. But yeah, back to here is you can take different elements from different posts and then just, you know, copy this and then create, like delete that if you want that, if you like this background or whatever it is. This one has a nice shadow effect. And bring in like different elements from different posts that you like. You don't even have to keep the size, make it really small and then add different elements to it. So some things I've seen people do are, you could even type in mystical, so you get like little magical elements, bring this in, change the color, make it subtle if you want. Put it here, position it backwards. So it like elevates the graphic. And so the purpose of my bundles is that I give you pieces of it. You can take it as it is, or you can go and repurpose it to create your type of content. Let's go to photos. I've seen people do this, like you could even trying to find something that would match with this. I don't know, maybe. And as you can see, this one has something over it. Yep. I don't know why. That's so weird. Okay, maybe if I delete it, but all right. Then you can change the opacity. I mean, there's so much you can do. You can change the colors for this, obviously, so depends, whatever you want. Change the gates so that they pop more. It's up to you. You can make it all black if you want. Whatever colors, like goes with the color. I'm just giving you different options to kind of play around, that you don't have to keep it the way it is. Remove that. So like bring that in. I'm like over this font already. One of the new fonts, and I can't believe it's included in Canva, is this one. It's just, this is the one I'm playing around with. And I like to do this and then add like so adds, I like to use red. That's kind of the colors I'm playing with. Another thing you can do is, so obviously turn it, so I want to do 90 degrees, and then just add your notes here. And so you could do this very unique. A lot of people do use images to evoke certain emotions, and then just still use my elements. You don't even have to use, I can ungroup this because it's grouped together, and I can remove like these little circles, like if I don't want them on it, if I'm just talking about the head center. Another thing you can do is, because the way I've designed this, you can only change this color, and then all these three colors are the same color here. So let's say if you wanted to change this, right, and like different colors for each three of them. So what we would do is, I will go into shapes. You can go to shapes, and I'm going to see if this works, because sometimes it has limitations to like the size you can do. Okay, so that works. So you can just kind of bring in your own elements and just try to line it up. So I also use like the arrows, like if I can't get it perfectly right over here so that it lines up, it's not going to go behind this because this is one image that's connected together. But you could line it up and then use the arrow buttons on your keyboard to like just slightly go up. So that helps me. So it's kind of lining up, and then just change it to the color that I want. So that's another great way you can use this. So it's already kind of, you have it there, and then you can just add your own elements. You could also do, yeah, so that's if you wanted to work individually to edit, if you couldn't, you know, like if you didn't want them all to be the same colors. But that's why I created the gates. But this is for people who just want to be able to do extra things. Okay. Gemini ascending. I am a Gemini, Sun, rising, Venus, Mercury, Chiron, North Node. So it's a whole mess. So these are some of the ebooks I'm working on using my elements, and I'm going to show you. So we're going to leave that there because I wanted to show you something. So I already showed you the Pinterest, so you can resize things and do that. And then, okay, so I'm creating, this is my workbook and I'm doing it for fun. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, because sometimes between my creative urges, when I feel low, I have to transmute that into creativity. So I work on things that I just no agenda. And I'm playing around with different colors. So you could see this one is pink and red. And as I told you, this is like, I'm obsessed with this font right now. So it's going to change. Yeah, so they're all lowercase. And then I've used the effect here, this one. So it's black on the back side. So it pops from the image. I kept it really simple, just have my name and that. So cool hack is, I'm going to show you. This is importing pages. So I always create like and add an extra page. You can always delete it. And sorry if I'm going fast, but like when I know things, I like move really quickly between them. So this plus button right here is add page, delete page, duplicate page, and you can move pages. So like this one, I want it, if I want it all the way on the top. So I'm going to show you how I brought this in here. So we go to all your designs. So if you've already loaded all the templates into your Canva, and we go to wherever I had the charts. So sometimes if it's in a folder, it's a lot easier to find. For me, I have so many things in here. Not this one. Okay, right here. So this is one of the chart templates. So I'm gonna focus on this page that brings it here. So I'm gonna bring in the second page. So you see it here. And then all I did was highlight all this. Yep, once it loads. So you hold it down like the arrow, and that's how you highlight. Because I don't know what level everyone is on when they're here. So sometimes I have to like explain basic things that come naturally to me. So I highlight all of it, and I want to make sure that I got all of it so that the glyphs and the numbers and the background is copied. So you don't want to miss any of them. So all I did was copy that. And then I created a new page, right? This is how I was working on it. So I did a pink background, and then I brought that in here. I moved it to the side. So you can, sometimes I like to look, I love the pink button, that the outline that pops up, because it'll tell you kind of like the even margins around the page. So I kept it here. And then while it's still highlighted, so you want to do this while it's still highlighted, is just make it a little bigger. And it makes, so make sure that when it's all highlighted, so then it does it evenly. So you're not trying to do it all individually. So that's essentially what I did, right? And then just tried to place it like that. And then because this is Pro, I can go into my text and then just bring in the font that I use. And then I'm gonna say unconscious. Yep, can't type. Okay. I can do this caps lock if I want. I add the effect that I normally do. Well, I wanted to make this red first. And then the effect, the shadow right here, black, so it pops. And then I can just resize it however big I wanted it. And then it shows me where I want it. So it helps because then I know that the margins are even around the side. And then I'm going to show you how I brought in all the lines, right? So first we're going to change the font. So I highlight them all. So when this pops up, then it's only going to change the font of the numbers. Obviously, it's not going to change the font of the glyphs because that's a vector image. So I'm going to change it to that. And did I have? So I let it stay white. So then the glyphs are white too. And then I just go in and then changed each of these backgrounds to red. So I went in and did that. So I'm not going to do it all in front of you for the training, but I went individually and did it for all of them. You could also remove the back, like the bar. You don't need it. You could just keep this and then just change like this to, if you wanted to change it to red, you could. And then if you wanted to change like all the numbers to red, you could do that. So you don't have to keep the bar. That was just something I wanted. You could remove that. And so, all right. So then we're going to bring in lines. So lines, anything like lines, shapes, you go in here and you'll see right here suggested because they know what I work with. So it's lines, shapes, frames, charts, grids. I go into lines and you select the type of line you want. This is really great if you're creating worksheets from scratch. You don't have to create it from scratch. I'm going to show you different ways that you could bring in elements like I showed you on Instagram. You could do that. So this is awesome because it shows you where it's lining up with these two. So here, I love this. I love using lines. You can change the weight. So I change it to the smallest width. And then all I did was extend it. So over here, it'll show you the 0 degrees, so that tells you that it's straight. So if it was kind of off, it would be like 2 degrees or whatever. So it shows you that it's straight. And then you highlight it. So I went like this, I'm selecting it. You could tell that it's selected because you'll see these pop up. Then you just hit this button right here, duplicate, right? And then you line, so it'll line up first with that, and then you'll see this pop up, so it's lined on the right side as well. And then you just keep duplicating that. So this is if you have the patience for it, or you can import lines, but I want this to line up with this here. Oh my gosh, come on. Okay. And okay, so that's lined up. Now, if I wanted to, so you could see here, these are single lines. I think there's someplace else that I did double lines. It's probably here. I'll show you that in a bit. But if you wanted to, so this is considered wide lines. You can just duplicate that and make it, add even more lines in between. Just kind of, it's not moving. Hold on. Yep. Okay, now it's moving. So you could just kind of put it there and it still lines up. So even if it's not completely, so it's off for me, I can tell there's more spacing between the second and the third. Yep, let's undo that. So all I would do is go to position and vertically, and then make sure they're all to the left so that they line up on the left side. You could also do it to the right, but it's perfectly lined up. And then, so there you go. And then you could just duplicate that. This is really great for creating worksheets. You could duplicate that again and then bring it down here. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then you could just go back to position and make sure vertically to the right, all lined up. So this is how I created this page here. So then I just duplicated it down here. Conscious, I made a different page. So for this, I'm just creating something fun. And then what I did was I created a new page. I'm going to show you how I did it. And I brought in each glyph. So I copied that. You can see over here, I have it. Let's change a color to it. Resize it. So this is the sun. Go to elements, go back to shapes. Okay. So this is great if you want a writing area for people to use. So if you're creating workbooks, I love to have corners. This one's has different colors. This rounded, yeah, so this is rounded corners. So just pay attention to where that pink box is so that it's all, oh, perfect. And I make this white because I want people to be able to print it, and then just position backward so that this pops up, and then just play around with the placing. So mine was a little bit different. So I made this slightly smaller, this smaller. And so another thing you can do is, like, if you don't want to type this all over again, you can just bring that in and place it here. Where did it go? Yep. And then just make it smaller. And I make this right aligned so that it lines up exactly with this. And I made it, so this one is, yeah, unconscious sun. Now, the font, so I made this right aligned, and that I know that it's enough space for, it's a lot smaller. This one's a lot smaller. The reason that I did right aligned is so that when I duplicate this page, and let's say I'm typing in something like Jupiter or North Node, it like stays in the same place. So all the pages are aligned. unconscious third. See right here, unconscious north node. So it's all in the same space. And the other thing I do is to make sure that these are, so one of the things you can do is, of course, when you're resizing this, it shows you how wide it is and the height. So it's 0.9. So that's one way you can do it, is so that all of these are the same size, so that it's all aesthetically pleasing, so you don't have like different size glyphs. The other thing you can do is just, let's say if you wanted to bring in a glyph and make sure that it lines up. So you could see the little dotted line, it shows you that it's the same size, like it's on, it's lined up on the top. And then you could hold this and resize it until you see that bottom line right here. And now they're both exactly the same size. So if I place that over, it's exactly. So that's another way I do it. So depending on whether you want to do it based on the size when you're resizing, and then keep that in mind, or just bring it in and then replace it. And then I just brought in the number, and then I haven't decided what I want to do with this area. You could add page numbers, up to you. So this is, I'm just creating a really basic workbook for helping someone deconstruct their chart. I'm always studying my chart, so this is something that I'm probably going to use myself. Okay, is there a way to see all the pages? Yes. So this button right here, grid view. There's so many different things that I wanted to cover. I'm just like, so you can change around the space, the order of pages like this. You just select it and move it around. You can do presentations in Canva as well. But is this in the second bundle or the first? So the glyphs are in the second bundle in the customizable. So this, I brought this in from the customizable charts. It's the second page. I can show you. So this is the poster version. If I go home and I show you, I can actually just show you from the Canva. So this is the second bundle. So if you click on HD chart templates when you buy the bundle, and it'll ask you to load it in as a template. Yeah, it's okay if you have to leave. I know not everyone, a lot of people registered for this. So I know that most of them are going to watch it later. So that's fine. I'll be sending everyone a replay. And so you would just click use template, and then it'll load it into your Canva account when you're logged in. It loads slowly because there's so many elements to it, so many parts to the chart, but the editable glyphs are in the second bundle, but they're part of the chart, so you can separate them. They're also in the report as well. Sorry, it's taking so long to load. But yeah, this is page 2. So you could see here, you can just simply just copy and paste these or highlight them all and remove the bars. But I'm going to show you, if I go back to my ebook, too many tabs. Okay, so let's go back to this page. So you just double click it and it'll take you back to the page. Let's duplicate this so that we have a blank page. And then remember I said you go back to all your designs, and then you can open up different designs. So you're opening different templates and then importing it. So that way you don't have to like open all the templates and try to copy. You can copy and paste from one template to another. So if I wanted to copy like this, I can copy it and then open another template and then paste it here. So that's another great thing with Canva as well. It's like between tabs, you can do that between different templates. You can do it from, I'm going to show you where to find this because I already had it. So you have to go to more, and then you have to go to, yeah, why is it showing up? Is it, yeah, folders. It's so weird. Okay, more, now I'll see it, folders, and then all your designs. So I'll do that again. It goes into more. I'm going to remove this because it removed it, because it doesn't show up when you first load it up. It shows up for me because I use it all the time. So under more, hit folders, and then all your designs, and then all your templates will load up. So if I go to the report. If I could just find it, the human design blueprint. So this is the report template in the second Canva bundle. If you go to, it should be one of the last pages, this page. So it's going to ask you if you want to replace the current page or add as a new page. I'm just going to add it as a new page. And you'll see all the glyphs are here as well. So you can just use these and then you can change. Oh, these are images. Okay, I'm going to have to update that template because I thought it was the editable versions, but it should be here too, page 1. So yeah, these are, you can edit it. So yeah, I wasn't able to catch them all, but you should be able to bring all of these in. But here's another thing you can do is go to elements and search. I think you could search, let's say like, I don't even know if they have it. Yeah, so they do have it in the pro version. So they'll have different shapes that you can use. So you don't have to use my images, you can use the ones here as well. So sometimes they'll have some of them. So if you look up moon, you'll have to find it. I think you have to go to like, I don't even know if you could type in glyph. Yes, they're going to have for some of them, not all of them, but they are available in the second bundle, in the report, as well as the chart templates. And then, so you just bring that in. So that's one of the reports that I was working on. If I can, yeah, it's the same one. So you just bring it in, copy what you need to, and then just delete the page. So you can move things around. So yeah, so this is the simple report that I'm doing. And then this is another one I'm working on as well. Let me just look at the questions. Thank you. I'm so glad you're learning stuff. Yeah, so, you know, with designing, so one of the things I did want to cover is that there's so much you can create with this. It's the 45 sun in me where I have so many ideas, so many things I see out there, and then I non-sake over here, I can't do it all. I'm really good at initiating. I'm here to be a visionary and I can't do it all. And so when I approach them, I'm kind of just going to talk about like what I want you to create or the people that are in my sphere, is to understand your audience, to kind of understand where they are in their journey. So people who follow me on the R market, there are different groups. Like there are people who are just content creators, just starting out, kind of sharing their human design journey and their experiment and what they're learning. And then there are seasoned people. They're a little bit more advanced. They don't use a lot of these graphics, which is fine. Some of them still do, like they'll use it for, I know people who use these graphics for their certification programs, for their slides, and just like workbooks included with their trainings. So sometimes I don't even know what people are doing with them, but when they tell me, it reminds me of my impact. So when you create things, if you want to just let me know, that always makes me feel great and to keep going. But there's so many things that you can do to attract your audience, to establish authority. And one of the top things I've seen people do is, you know, offer them something for them to sign up for your email list and make it valuable. And so understanding where your audience is in their journey. So, you know, like, do they already know human design? Are they still trying to understand it? Where do they get stuck? How can you make yours different? So for me, I love centers. Like I'm really focused on centers right now. So I'm creating this. And look, I use the same parts and elements. Like I took this thing from one of the Instagram templates, and then I just like edited the colors, the fonts, and you can give it a different look. All this is just a square background in the back with the color that I want. I can make it more opaque if I want. So like, for me, this is really fun. And then I'm just going in and kind of sharing my genius. And so I'm providing a piece to the content creation process. I still want you to be able to share your genius and how you do things. So I like to do this. I like to like break it down into what are the different elements, what are people. So a lot of people that are in my sphere don't really know how to break down human design. So for me, it's like understanding how do I break it down in a way that is digestible. This is really great. If you could convert this to, if you wanted to resize this to a presentation over here, you can do that and then just like edit it so it looks presentable. So once I finish this, I could probably reformat this. I brought this in from one of the other templates. I think it was this one. This is, nope, let me close. Oh, it's in one of the first bundles, the body graphs. I'm like all over the place. So this is, so that my purpose when I create this is, so this is going to be one of my lead magnets. I haven't decided if it's going to be for my personal brand or for the art market. I just want to play with it. I don't know when it's going to be finished. So it's going to be a little ebook. People love ebooks and there's a lot out there. So then you want to make yours a little bit different and provide value for people. So one of the values you can provide for people who are new to human design, or, you know, let's say you've done a reading, or you want to show people your genius, this is going to be really great to kind of just take one aspect of it and then help them break it down. So when I created this, I'm thinking, okay, it's going to focus on the centers, but the person who this is for, they still need to know what the different parts of the chart are, right? And then I'm going to make it really pretty. And one of the hacks are, you can just, when I have my little footer, I can just, where I have it, just like copy and paste it on every page and it'll be in the same space. I didn't put it on this one. I brought all the glyphs here. So like this person can color in the chart and get to know themselves. They can start working with their conscious and unconscious. You can group them and you can ungroup them if you want. It's up to you, but either way you can like space it out evenly as well. That I brought in the other page from the other workbook. It was already done. So I just like imported the page. I just went to all your designs and imported that page. So you don't have to do double the work. You can kind of repurpose different pages, different content, bring in elements from different posts. So yeah, so they can break down and like take notes, like put in, I haven't finalized the colors, but just kind of showing you. So this is different from this one because I added double lines. I wanted them to be able to take more notes. Over here, you'll see more spacing, like wide rule. Over here, I made it double lines so that they could take more notes. And then remember that Instagram post? So all I did, it's also, I think, included in the HD report template. And so then I just changed this to match like my colors. And then all I did was position and line all these up. And then over here, make it 2 columns. So then they have a little glossary, right? And now I'm going over the 9 centers. So first, in order to explain the centers, I have to show, like, talk about where they are. That was the first graphic. And then what it means for something to be defined or undefined. And I'm adding like different shapes in the back to kind of elevate this image. And it's simple. I love it. Like, I would totally like download this from someone. So let's say I have this done, right? And then I'm going into defined centers, undefined centers, and then I'm going to do each one. I didn't finish this because typical manifestor surges of energy. But yeah, I'm still playing around with this on how I want to format it. So over here, I brought that image in from the first bundle and I matched it to the colors that I want. So these are the kind of things you can create. So you can create a lead magnet. You can offer this for sale, add pages for workbooks so that you can get them to think about or reflect on different things like, and then, yeah, I still haven't. So these are all my notes already from a different thing that I had created. So you can repurpose stuff. So I already have all my notes. It's really now just about trying to format it. And then I brought this in because I'm going to make this like a really juicy lead magnet. And then I'm going to repurpose this for like different things that I want to do and offer. I can create this for gates. I can create this for channels. So once I have like the basic template done, all I do is just like file, make a copy, and then just edit the text and the images, or I can do the thing where I look in all design and then I'm just like create it from scratch and then bring in different pages. So yeah, this is going to be one of my lead magnets, kind of showing you behind the scenes of how I'm working through it. This is going to be for free. I want people to be able to like go through their chart, and I'm going to put it on Pinterest. So like on Pinterest, you know, like creating those graphics, amazing. That's one great way that people are finding human design is through Pinterest and then Google SEO. But this is one of the ways that for you to stand out for specific things within human design. So you could do it on just the nodes and the, you know, like the planet influences. You could do it on however you want to do it, whether you want to do a general version of the whole system and then do an upsell to like a really detailed breakdown. You can use the report I have to kind of follow the, you know, like how I do it with the types, authorities, profile lines, depending on what your niche is, what your audience is looking for. And so the purpose of my bundles are to be able to give you those different elements to work with, to be able to create new things. Another thing you can do, so when you go to download over here, you can see you have different options. So, you know, if you want to do for this, when it's done, I'm going to download it as a PDF, but I'm going to show you how to create the mockups for like when you show people like download my lead magnet. So I would go to PNG, download it. It's downloading. So what this does is download each of these pages as an image. And then, so let's go to one of the Instagram. Okay, so yeah, this is where I'd gotten the body graph from. So we're gonna go to, this is one of the original sets. We're not gonna edit that. Let's close that. Okay, so this is the editable ones, editable. I can't tell, did I finish downloading? I didn't finish downloading yet. Okay, it's completed now. So I'm going to unzip this. So when you have multiple images, it's going to download a zip file. So you'll see here, it downloaded all the pages as images. And then, yeah, so now they're all images. Now the purpose of doing this is to bring it back into uploads, right? So I'm going to upload some of those images. So I'll probably just upload. So this is how people are creating mockups. But because you can't like import a page as an image within Canva, you have to like download it and then upload it. At least that's the way I know. So go to downloads. So let's say I'm only going to just do like the first 10 images. And so what it does is it's going to upload all the images over here on this side. So when I go to create a mockup, which I will do here. So I will go to, you can start with the basic template if you want, but I will show you something. Hold on. Let's go here first. Let me make sure that it uploaded. Okay, it's uploaded. So I want to reload this so that it shows. Okay, no, it's showing there. So if I just click on this, it'll show you, there are a couple things you can do with this. So you go to edit image. You can add shadows. So if I did this, if you wanted to keep it really simple, add shadow. So it already looks like a page that's been lifted off. So, you know, you can just put your text here and kind of like emphasize, you know, download what's included in the lead magnet. You can do that if you wanted to do shadows. The other thing you can do is, it should be here. Let's undo shadows. Yep. Okay, so I undid it. Yeah, smart mockups. So it'll just take that image and it'll create the mockup within like the way it is listed here. So for this, I'd probably use one of the book ones. Frames, posters, books. Yeah, like that. If you select this, it's going to bring that in. So like you could see right here. And with this, you can't edit the mockup because it is the way it is. And then you would just resize it to like Well, I don't know why it's not. Okay, what happened there? Yeah, the thing that it is a little tricky. I like to just, okay, I'll just do the easier way. That's one of the ways you could do it, is like go into edit image and go to smart mockups and then select one of their pre-made mockups, or you can go to templates and you could do, let's say, book mockup. And they do like here, this one, right? So you bring that in. As you could tell, this is an image. So if you didn't want to create it from scratch, you can just go back to your uploads. Where is it? And I don't know why the first page didn't upload. Okay. I'm just gonna upload it again. And then I just drag and drop it in there. So now it's there. And then you could bring in, let's say, this image to the back one. And then this image over here. So now you could show off your ebook and then just change the colors to all that, or just copy and paste this and create your own. So that's one way that you can create content, images to show off your lead magnet. Okay, cool. Let's see. So yeah, so this is an ebook. And so I'm gonna kind of go through my notes on some of the things that I wanted to say. So we have a couple more minutes. Yeah, so basically you can use my templates as they are, you know, just for Instagram, for repurposing it for Pinterest graphics. A lot of people are searching human design right now. So creating graphics is going to help you stand out. You can still, like, obviously we know this is all about energy. So if you believe, you know, people are going to find value in you and just text, that's fine too. Like, do what comes naturally to you. I never want you to do something that doesn't feel aligned for you. You know, I like simplicity. I'm not going to do, like, if I start looking at the way other people are doing their content, my undefined head gets really overwhelmed, because, you know, there's a lot of Instagram content out there for human design. People do, I have affirmations, right? So yeah, I love to do these kind of posts, but once in a while. So this is from the first bundle. You can just take it. And so one of the things I did was remove the channels from the back and then simply added these lines. So remember when you had those straight lines that I used, you can actually change the line to different formats. So you could do dotted, dashed, just simple line without end brackets, and then it has brackets. So you can change the type of lines you do as well too, so that you can use the elements I have and then kind of add your own little touch to it. So it was the same image right here, and all I did was remove the channels in the background so that I only have the shapes, change the shapes to the colors I want, and then added these individual lines. You could see I did it individually myself. I added in just to kind of give it a different look, a different style, because that's something that I just like. My style keeps changing. And then these are, I'm not sure they're in the bundles, but you can just add, I think it's, yeah, it is, maybe. So that you can do, if you want to do affirmations, if you want to help with deconditioning tips or anything like that. So like, there's so many different kinds of posts that people do online. Some people do breakdowns of, let me show you. There's so much. I have so much open. So like, if you wanted to do a breakdown of the glyphs, the planets, and what each one, like the themes for each one, you could do that. Centers, like I have it in the reports as well. I think I have it for centers and profiles as well. So you can repurpose, like you can take, so if I wanted to do that, I'll show you now. Go to all your designs. I'm going to go to the report. And this is what I love about repurposing it for different types of content. So if I go back to this one, this is in the second bundle. So this is the HD report, the human design report, and I formatted it in a way, if you were to do a human design reading report for someone, like this is kind of like the process you would follow. I have some content in there, but really I want you to bring your own stuff to it. So, because it's you, your energy, the way you see the system, the way you've learned it is what people want from you. I'm just kind of giving you different pieces. So like, this is the report, and I brought it into the Instagram post, and all I would have to do is just kind of like select all and resize it. But like, you can use a lot of this to repurpose for Instagram as well. Another one you can do is the profile. So I have the centers, I have the profile lines, and you can go in and edit the text, the fonts. I also have it for, yes, the glyphs. You can do it for the variables, incarnation cross, so many different things that you can do, like repurpose it from one size to another. Another thing you can do, so let's say you're creating a lead magnet and you don't want to create it from scratch, is just go to templates and search lead magnet. And lead magnet is simply like something that you're offering for free for someone to give you their email address or sign up for your newsletter list. So you want to make it valuable because there's a lot of freebies out there, and you want to make this as juicy as possible. And then offer something at the last page saying, here are the ways, like, you know, if you love this, these are ways you can work with me. You can book a reading, you can join this program, or whatever it is that you offered. Like, that is the purpose of a lead magnet. So let's say that you want to be able to use some of my elements, but not create a lead magnet from scratch, or even use the report that I have. You can, they offer you different cover page. So you can do lead magnet cover page, and they'll show you different, well, let's just go back to lead. There's something that you play around with. I obviously don't know everything, but if there's a style that you like, you can kind of bring that in and play around with it and then reformat it. For some of them, they have lots of pages. So if you select this, it'll already have like this, the cover page, and then you'll just add your stuff. They'll have title page. They'll have activity. Yeah. And you could repurpose, you could also bring in something from like an Instagram post as well. So these are just different ways where you can kind of combine what's already available in Canva. Some of these are pro things. So I mentioned Creative Market earlier, is like, I'm obsessed with Creative Market. I try not to buy anything, mostly just fonts now, but you can look up lead magnet template, and you got to make sure it's going to be a Canva version. So, yep. Okay, there we go. I did not spell that correctly, that's why. Okay. Because I typed too fast. So you could see they have really beautiful ebooks. Oh my God, sorry. And then they have posts. So this is really nice, but if you have an open head, you're going to be overwhelmed, because I'm going to tell you, I've bought so many bundles over the years, and then I don't know how to repurpose them. So that's why I kept my bundles really simple, where you still are able to use the elements and you're not overwhelmed with trying to do like all the things, because it is so easy. Because of course they make it look really, really beautiful. Like this one's really gorgeous. Ooh, I think I want it. Yeah, so you can see what they offer and then use it in combination to convert this into like human design base and bring in the elements that I have. But yeah, there's so many different things that you can do with Canva. You can create, let's say if you can do a transit calendar. I know someone who's doing custom charts for free, and then that's how she gets people on her email list. She has the energy to change all those channels, centers, colors, whatever. Great for her. She can do that. I don't like doing stuff like that, but just being able to like use different elements. And this is how I do things, is kind of like, open head thing where I kind of see what's out there. I'm inspired by everything, and then I sit with it, and then it comes together for me. So depending on your process and how you bring things together, and being a 45, my son conscious is in 45, like bringing resources to people, informing people about what's available. Like this is what I like teach my clients as well. Is like they don't have to do everything from scratch. They don't have to like stress out over trying to create content. It is available. It's just kind of like learning little bits and pieces of how to bring your magic to it, how to make it your style, your voice, and then still being able to use, let's say, the elements that I have, like the shapes, the centers, the gates, channels, the glyphs, the custom chart, just different parts of like whatever I've created. And then you can use something like this and then just change the text, the font, and then bring in those elements. And like I might actually end up getting this because it just looks so nice. I wait. So yeah, like this one, I'm playing around with a new template, just a different style because I just like to try different things. And all this is just bringing in different lines. Sometimes it's great to have it already done. Sometimes I'll use a mix of like other people's templates and then create my own and make it my own. But I will say, like creating workbooks and ebooks, like I'm working on books. Like this is like forever for me. Books that will separate all the different parts. So like having people reflect on centers, having people reflect on gates, channels, because the purpose of like the system is to really contemplate it and reflect on it. Like it's not something that you just get it right away. And then even when you get it, so like with the 45, I've been sitting with that. The gate 45 that I have in my chart, I think is twice or 3 times, and it's being my subconscious. It's important to me. So my understanding of it when I first started to last year to like this year, it keeps developing. And so I feel that instead of just like throwing information at people, like that's like we want to learn, but we also want to give them space to contemplate and reflect. And that's where I want you to start creating workbooks that give people that space to reflect. But I'm not going to have all the questions. Like I do ask great questions, but I also want you to trust that you can ask the kind of question, especially if you're also a coach. Projector, it doesn't matter what type it is. Like projectors are obviously very genius, offer natural wisdom, but I think we all offer different kinds of perspective. And so I want people to be creating workbooks and ebooks and offering. There are people who just want to do self-paced, like, or in combination with a program. I'm giving myself space to kind of sit with how I want to be able to share human design. And that means I have to sit with it. I have to reflect on it. I have to reflect on my own journey and how I like to learn and how I understand things. And so that's why I'm taking my time creating these things. Yeah, so let me see if you guys have any questions. You don't. You guys are so amazing. Okay, cool. I hope this has been helpful. There's obviously so much more that I want to share. I might send notes. I just don't want to promise anything. But yeah, I would definitely consider really sitting with the fact, like, understanding your audience and how you want to share human design and what you want to be known for. And being okay with the fact that it's going to evolve. So like for me, I learned all this by playing. And I want to bring play and creativity to the human design community. In my, I don't want to say past life, but my other work that I do is like I'm an artist, I'm a creative, I'm still learning design work, like, and branding and all the different things. Like I love to learn. And so my style is going to evolve, with each offer that I create. It's going to, like, if you've been following the R market since the beginning, you're going to have seen so many changes go from like physical products to like custom mugs to apparel to like, I have the bundles that I have now, but it's probably going to evolve. And right now I'm going through like a major rest period, and like almost regretted offering this training because I literally don't want to be doing anything right now. So it's like, first of all, grateful that I have the privilege to be able to rest. But yeah, I just know that whatever's going to come through this period, that whatever's next is probably going to be different from what I've already been offering. It's going to probably alchemize everything that I've learned, everything that I've been sitting with. And I just want to give you that permission slip to be able to do it your way. Like, I'm initiating you. I want you to come up with something to respond to, something that clicked for you during this workshop, so that we're all, there's space for us all. There are other Canva templates out there. And I just want to say that you're here to self-express. You're here to find that full self-expression. And if I can play a small role in that, that just means so much to me. So I do hope that you got a lot from this, or even a little bit, and that something clicked. I did want to share more, but I am like kind of like the type that wings it. If there are any other things that I will remember to share, I'll just add it to the replay or other resources for you to check out. So yeah, thank you so much for being here, for being engaged. Thank you so much for everyone that supported me on my journey and been patient with me as I like figure out my urges and like creating things my way. Yeah, thank you everyone. Take care. I can stop this. I don't even know how to stop it. Let's stop the recording.